So I was just back there trying to get into the dry storage area to see Monai, but security turned me back. There's apparently two storage areas: the work area where they would have let me into, or the dry storage area, which is like a kind of a fence within a fence, and I need a card to get in there. So they said come back tomorrow, talk to the office, that stuff, which is fine. I can wait one more day and I can go look for some tacos because I'm so hungry. I've not eaten since this morning. All right, so I went to the office. Everything's in my name. That's a good thing. I'm in the boatyard where I can go see Monai for my first time. That's very exciting. And they showed me the price list. Right now we're in dry storage. You can't live on your boat in dry storage, but it's really cheap. Monai costs $180 a month. That's pretty cheap. If you move it to the work yard, then you pay $30 a day. That works out to about 900 bucks a month. It's actually cheaper for me to sit in the water than in the work yard. But I need to do work, so it's probably going to the work yard. I'm not moving my neck. It's because it hurts a lot. I got a stiff neck, and I took some muscle relaxants, which you can get here without, you don't need a prescription for that, but it means I'm really slow right now. I fell asleep. I'm hardly with it here. But let's find this boat. So they all kind of look the same. It's maybe down here somewhere. I think I see it. I think it's that black mast up there. That might be it. Let's check it out. Okay, put down my ladder. Oh. Put down my toolbox. It has just basic tools so I can access everything I need to access in here. Oh, I sure hope that's not my boat. No rudder. No, that's Priya of Seattle. All right, I guess that's a good sign. Huh. That looks promising. No, that's no Ericson either. That's Paulina. All right. Well, it appears I'm in the wrong space. All right, let's carry on. Oh shit, that hurts. Once I get that boat in dry storage, my plan is to drop the keel, inspect the keel bolts, and reseal everything. Apparently Ericsons are known for letting some water in because they didn't remove the release compound very well from the hull mold. So I want to do that, just make sure that's good for a long time. And I also want to drop the rudder, just for safety. I'd like to know that that rudder stock doesn't have crevice corrosion, and it's not about to snap off in the moment you least want it to. All right, I think I found Monai. Oh. You can tell it's Monai because it says Monai on it. All right. Okay. Here she is. Oh, I can't crane my neck, that hurts. There's Monai. I really like the fine entry. That was something that was important to me. Yeah, it looks like a really nice hole shape. So here's where the keel stub would be. Yeah, you can see that crack. So what I'm worried about is that water gets in there, hits the keel bolt, and crevice corrosion starts. Which everything is fixable. You can add new bolts, but that gets really expensive. So the plan would be to support the keel, loosen up the bolts, hoist the boat off, so we have like an inch to work with, and then I can, one, inspect the bolts, and then two, prep that surface to put in some sealant. That should be good for a long time. Cool. That looks fine. And here's it. Looks good. Yeah, the other thing is to drop this rudder, because that rudder stock, that seems like a good place to get some crevice corrosion. So I'll pull that apart and just inspect. I'll be very happy to know that that is in good shape. She has a bit of a flat bottom at the back, which I think I like. It looks like she would surf pretty well. Surfing is fun. Okay, I'm gonna get my ladder and we're gonna get up in there. Hello, Monai. All right, we're on Monai. I would take you forward, but it's so hot on deck that I can't actually walk there with my bare feet. So just too hot. So we're gonna stay back here in the shade for now. Wheel steering has two propane lockers. Now, if you can see, that's full of water. So something's wrong. That should drain overboard. So looks like I already have a project. What's in here? Another one, also full of water. Okay, we're gonna have to investigate. Now let's go inside. It's gonna look pretty nice in there, I'm sure. Holy crap, it's so hot. Oh my goodness, wow, wow, wow. Oh shit, wow. Wow, my feet are literally burning. I can't be there. Let's take this cover, which goes with the steering pedestal. We'll stand on the cover. Okay. All right, it is so deadly hot in here. Let's take a look around. So there she is. That's the quarter berth, or quarter cabin. This was one of the things I wanted in a boat. This has a door. You can close it for some privacy. That's really nice. Happy to have an oven again. That'll be cool. Pressure water. I guess I gotta turn things on first. Engine access couldn't be too much better. Right under the sink. Steel grab rails. I wonder what that's for. All right, headliner. Looks like it's in nice shape. And I can stand in this boat, which is amazing. This was an issue on my last boat. Back here we have a rear head, separate shower stall. I'm very excited about that too. Seems like a solid boat. All right, well, there's a bit of a mess because everything's stored down here, but that's something we're gonna work on. The V-berth looks pretty spacious. I like that. Looks really comfy. The cushions are comfy, so that's really good. All right. Got all this space for storing things. That's great. Hanging locker. What's in here? Well, that's a mystery. Oh, look at that. More storage. Let's see. Hard to figure that out. There we are. This, I suppose, I guess that acts as a seat, as a high seat or a low seat. And of course, more storage. Oh, he even left me his first aid kit. That's kind. I didn't do that to my last owner, or my last boat. More storage. Let's see in here. More storage. I love it. More storage. Some hosing. I wonder if that's the overboard pump out for the holding tank. We're gonna find out. Oh, what's this? Oh, look at that. More storage. And in here, well, wouldn't you know? More storage. This is sweet. I like this. Yeah, the wood here seems a little bit worn, but it was mentioned that some of the wood was, yeah, the interior wood, some of it could use some love. I saw it in the survey. Here we have a headliner. I gotta go see in there once I stop sweating. Wow. Okay, I'm very eager to get under these floors and just take a look at the keel bolts. That can wait for now. Like this. That is intention when you sail because the roof pulls up. So that's cool. That's a pretty sturdy one. I like having this table here. Yeah, U-shaped settees is like, that's what I wanted. That's perfect. What else do we got? Well, of course, more storage. Something I like about these Ericsons is this comes down from the standing rigging and then connects to the grid system that lives on the below the floorboards. So it's very, very robust, very solid from what I hear. All right, I'm gonna die of heat, so I'm turning this video off. Goodbye. All right, coming here in the heat of day was a big mistake. It is so hot. I'm just dripping sweat everywhere. So I think I'm gonna come back tomorrow morning because I'm just gonna be leaving sweat stains on everything as I go through this boat. But so far she looks really good. A lot more spacious back there than I was anticipating, so that's cool. This galley is super functional. Has this, you know, salt water, fresh water, and pressure water is awesome. We've got a freezer combo here. Yeah, everything on this boat looks as advertised and really nice. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow morning when it's not so hot. We can do a proper checkup on it then, because right now I'm just way too hot. So I'm gonna close this baby up and holy moly, yeah, we'll come back tomorrow. All right. It's so hot I can't even stand on deck. So I just got back, I'm hosing off the deck, try to get rid of the heat as best I can. But wow, it takes a lot of water. It's just a lot of heat in here. I'm gonna try to put up some tarps, get some shade, and my second trick is this one. Air conditioner. Let's see what we can do. All right. Oh, I'm recording. Check out this tent city. Got shade up there now, shade up here, and shade back here. And the best part is this, AC inside. It's only reading 35 degrees inside. It used to be in the 40s, so this is progress. Let's see how low I can go. But now finally things are pretty good. I'm healthy. I bought an air conditioner. That's pretty big. And I put some tarps up over the boat. That's been keeping things, at least today, kept the temperatures reasonable. So that's very good. The story with this boat, it's a 1986 Ericson 38-200. Its name is Monai, and I bought it here in Mexico, $40,000. Yeah, my last boat was a 33-foot Pearson. I really liked it. It was very capable, but it didn't feel like a good platform to invest in. And I knew I wanted a boat that I could keep for the next 10 years, and this met all my needs. I wanted something that was fast, strong, and nice. And this met all those needs and didn't break the bank. So that's why I bought Monai. I bought it sight unseen. I had a survey done. There was lots of good photos taken of the boat. The survey checked out, and I knew this was the style of boat that I wanted, so I just pulled the trigger and went for it. And it was a big investment, but you know, it's not something I could do twice. But I trusted the surveyor, and I trusted the survey, and yeah, that was just a risk I was willing to take. So far everything has been exactly as the survey showed, so no surprises there. There's two big projects I want to do. One is I want to drop the keel and rebed that where the keel mates with that keel stub. Apparently Ericson didn't do a good job of taking the mold release wax off of the keel stub, so the mating surface is not very good. Salt water can find its way into where the keel bolts are, and then you get crevice corrosion, which if you've never experienced is really a force to be reckoned with. If you get salt water on some stainless steel in a place where it doesn't have access to oxygen, like that bolt will just eat away so fast. And on my last boat in the Pearson, I remember pulling out some bolts that had crevice corrosion, and it was incredible how where the crevice corrosion happened, they just necked down to almost nothing. Obviously, if that happens with your keel bolts, that's not very good. I think these keel bolts are going to be in really good shape, and that's exactly why I want to drop them, because while they're still in good shape, that would be a nice time to resurface everything, put on new sealant, and they never leak, and you never get that crevice corrosion. And once the crevice corrosion happens and the keel bolts are necked down, then you have a much bigger problem. So that's kind of it's a big project, but it's like a big forward-looking maintenance project. So I'd like to get that done before I live aboard full-time in the saltwater, which is where I think that problem would start to become more apparent. So it's kind of dark, but let's take a look around. Two big issues with getting that keel bolt to these keel bolts. So here's the engine. Down here, if you can see, there's a bit of oil in the bilge. I gotta tend to that. But these three keel bolts down here are pretty well inaccessible. So if I have to pull the engine out to get to those keel bolts, then that's just not gonna happen, right? Now, the other hard to access keel bolts are here, underneath the mast. The way this works, this mast attaches to this mast plate. That mast plate covers 4 keel bolts. There's 2 here and 2 behind. So if the mast is off, then that's suddenly an easy job. I can just pull all the standing rigging off, send it off to a rigger, and they'll send me back fresh stuff, reinstall, you're done. But my big question is, how do I release those keel bolts from under the engine? And if I can't do that, then what do I do? So that's an unsolved mystery. Other than that, it's a pretty fine boat, and I'm very excited for what's to come. This is another issue. These electronics are so old. Come on now. Well, that's the radar. It didn't seem to be working when I turned it on earlier. This Furuno GPS navigator, I have no idea what it even is supposed to do. And the screen is all wonky, so we'll have to find that out. And then something here is a single sideband radio. I think it's this, and I've never used that before, so I want to figure out if that's still working. Yeah, so some of these electronics are pretty antiquated, but I'll make the best of it.
are you holding on so